Hello, my name is Gabe, and this is my video for my Cni project. Should we bring guns to schools to prevent school shootings? You may have an instant answer to this question, others may take a while to think, and some won't have an answer to give at all. This comes naturally from such a controversial topic. Before we begin, viewer discretion is advised to those who are sensitive to topics like mass genocide and suicide. To begin, what is a school shooting? Commonly, a school shooting is when a student of an educational institution like K through 12 and beyond shoots and injures or kills, at minimum, another student or school staff members on campus. Although this does not limit school shootings to students being the only assailants, people with no relation to the students that cause harm with a firearm can also be put into the category of school shooter. Now that we are all on board for the definition, when did the first school shooting in the US occur? The first recorded school shooting was the Pontiac's Rebellion School Massacre on July 26, 1764, in what is now Greencastle, Pennsylvania. The schoolmaster, along with 9 other children, were victims of this attack as a result of a political fallout between the British Empire and the native tribes in the US. Now you may ask, why is this topic being discussed now when school shootings have been around before our country's founding? What has become common knowledge for the modern American is that school shootings have been on the rise, especially now during the 21st century. On display is a chart showing statistics from 1970 to present day. As you can see, 2021 was our worst year, with our accumulative of 197 victims. Now I'll present both sides of the argument. We have the left that is against bringing guns to schools, and the right that agrees with the idea of bringing guns to schools. The left main points are that guns would make schools a more hostile environment, that most teachers are not comfortable with the idea of shooting one of their pupils, and that they support stricter laws like for the revision of Gun-Free School Zones Act due to a loophole that makes the act not applicable to those licensed by the state to carry a handgun. On the right side, there is support that bring guns into schools because of how fast you can respond to a possible attack. More than half of school shootings will end in less than 5 minutes, making it crucial for there to be assistance as soon as possible when it is needed. There are other options for those who are armed. There can be teachers that volunteer to practice safety training before they're allowed to carry a firearm in the classroom, or having a school resource officer, also known as SROs, that are paid by the school. Now, what do people have to say about this on social media platforms like Twitter about the topic? Here we have a person that is against guns in schools and another person responding to the first guy. Unfortunately, there was no further discourse between these two people. Now that we have presented both sides of the argument, I would like to put my input on the topic from my findings so far. I would say that a synthesis of both sides' ideas are needed to solve the problem. The arming of teachers should remain a voluntary decision, and the volunteers should have to be checked every so often to see if they're still a valid candidate for carrying a firearm in the classroom. The arming of teachers should be a last resort. More focus and resources should be implemented in schools for approaching the mental health issues that students may have to prevent thoughts of these attacks from occurring at all. The top tier reason that people commit acts of mass genocide is due to the desire to cause as much disruption as possible before eventually committing suicide by their own hand or by cop. In conclusion, I believe that both sides are neither wrong or right. I feel like both sides have very valid arguments, and again, there should be a synthesis of both ideas. That is all for my Cni project. Thank you for listening.